Let's bring in Sam Stovall, Chief Investment Strategist of U.S. Equity Strategy at CFRA. Sam, it's great to see you. Thanks for coming on.
Always good to talk to you, Nicole.
So give us your thoughts. I mean, we're in the thick of earnings season. We have Fed, we have jobs. I mean, what are you feeling right now? When you watch the S&P 500, what's your top and bottom when you look at the technicals?
Well, when I look, first off, I say that the market is discounting the potential for a rate cut at Wednesday's meeting. We had 91% of the sub-industries in the S&P 1500 above their 10-week or 50-day moving averages. One standard deviation above the mean is 85%. So I think we probably could end up digesting some of these gains once the news has been issued. But I think in general, the market is likely to stay elevated because we don't have negative news on the trade issue. We're really not having negative news on earnings. They're coming in better than expected. Surprise, surprise. And the expectation that the Fed will be cutting rates, that should help to at least support the market.
Right. And, you know, we've had so many guests coming on touting the ECB at this point, the language we're getting from the ECB coupled with the cut from the Fed, which will obviously help the yield curve, flattening of the yield curve, which ultimately helps us. Is that right? And that's why valuations could trickle higher rather than lower?
I think that the U.S. central bank is looking to assist the ECB and the other central banks basically by saying we'll make the U.S. fixed income a little less attractive here in the States. So maybe that could cause some foreign capital to stay at home and to invest more domestically. Also, if we do have a reduction in our interest rates, that could actually push down the value of the U.S. dollar, which again would make international investment all the more attractive. Your prior guest was talking about emerging markets and international opportunities. And certainly, should we end up with a weaker U.S. dollar, that would end up benefiting domestic portfolio holders' exposure overseas.
All right, so buy emerging markets, right? That's basically what you're saying, at least a little bit. What else do you like to buy? I mean, are there certain sectors that seem more attractive at these current valuations?
Well, I also like to look at relative strength. So basically, what is the trend telling us? Where is the trend, my friend? And right now, it's sort of doing a barbell, meaning that you've got two cyclical sectors and two defensive sectors that are showing good long-term relative strength. Technology and communication services on the cyclical side, but also consumer staples and utilities holding up. So I think investors are basically saying, you know, I will sort of take a chance with some of the more cyclical areas, but just to cover my bets, because let's not forget, we are in the traditionally challenging May through October period known as the sell in May period. So let's hold on to some more sectors that offer static demand for their products and services.
I want to get into Fed and jobs. I don't have much time left. Fed, 25 basis points. You think that's probably a good start with some dovish language to follow?
It is. I think there's no cut in September, but possibly another cut in October. So we end up with 2 in 2019.
Right, and maybe another 2 in 2020. We'll see if that happens. And then jobs on Friday, you feeling optimistic?
Pretty much so. 170,000 jobs are what we think will come in, a little higher than what the street is expecting. Maybe we'll end up with the unemployment rate ticking down to about 3.6%, 3.5%. So I think that the jobs number could end up causing some people to scratch their heads and say, gee, why did the Fed need to cut rates? But I think it's really more of an insurance policy than it is an outright need.
Anything else that's big for this week that I mean, we have so many things. I know Bank of England, Bank of Japan. We have also Brexit. But, I mean, what's really front and center for you right now that you're definitely keying in on?
The only thing worth watching on a weekly basis is you.
All right, and glad when you're on the show. Sam Stovall, we adore you. Thank you for coming on. You always do such a great job. Lifetime of watching these markets. Chief Investment Strategist, U.S. Equity Strategy, CFRA. Great to see you, Sam. Have a wonderful week.